Okay, let's dive in. Snoop Dogg. I mean, for decades, he's basically been synonymous with West Coast hip-hop, right? That smooth delivery, the unmistakable
It's
style.
absolutely iconic.
But the sources we've pulled together for this deep dive, they're pointing to something, well, frankly, nobody really saw coming. A pivot to children's music.
It's quite the turn.
Yeah, his new song, Love is Love. It's all about acceptance, inclusivity. It just makes you stop and ask, what exactly is going on here?
And that's really our mission today, isn't it? To look at this release, not just, as a piece of music, but more as a cultural moment, maybe even a calculated one.
Calculated or genuine?
Well, that's the tension, right? We got a stack of material here, and it all circles back to that question. Is Love proof of real growth, learning from the past? Or is it perhaps more of a strategic PR move, especially after some recent issues?
Right, we need to set that stage for you listening. This song didn't just appear in a vacuum.
No, definitely not.
It landed right after some pretty significant controversy. Snoop Dogg made statements in the past that many people found insensitive, even harmful, particularly towards the LGBTQ plus community.
Widely reported.
So this new track, focusing so heavily on positivity, diversity, it feels like it has to be signaling something, a potential change of heart maybe, or at least a very public shift in messaging.
Precisely. So let's actually dig into the song itself first. Love is Love.
Okay.
When you really break down the content, the message is, well, it's meticulously crafted, it's catchy, yes, but it's also pushing a strong moral viewpoint.
Aggressively moral, you said.
Yeah, I think so. It's aimed squarely at promoting love, understanding, specifically targeting kids, a younger generation. That's a group he hasn't really addressed musically before, not like this.
And the sources really emphasize how intentional the themes are. It's not just be nice.
No, it's deeper.
It's explicitly encouraging kids to embrace diversity, in all its forms. And there's a big focus on self-love, too, accepting yourself. That comes through strongly.
Self-acceptance and accepting others.
Yeah, and the lyrics hammer home things like kindness, respect,
Yeah.
like basic building blocks for interaction. It feels almost like a curriculum set to music.
A curriculum, that's a good way to put it. And the delivery, the packaging is just as deliberate.
How so?
Well, musically, it's got that upbeat tempo, almost like bubblegum pop. The lyrics are simple, easy for young kids to grasp and remember.
Makes sense.
But you also have to look at the visuals. The video uses this really bright, vibrant, friendly animation.
Ah, right. The video component.
Exactly. That visual element helps the message stick. It effectively wraps a pretty complex social lesson in something really palatable, really entertaining for kids.
Okay, but here's where it connects back and gets, well, really interesting, I think.
Go on.
We have to draw the line from the colorful animation back to that controversy you mentioned.
Right.
Across the board, critics, commentators in our sources, many see this song and video as a direct, almost undeniable response to those past criticisms, the ones perceived as harmful.
It certainly looks like a counter-narrative.
It's like the ultimate counter-narrative, isn't it? By putting out content that is so, aggressively positive and inclusive, he's trying to show, very publicly, that his platform's stance has shifted, or he wants us to think it has.
And that leads us right into the whole issue of the messenger themselves. We have to think about the sheer power of Snoop Dogg's platform.
Huge.
His words carry weight. Immense weight, across generations even. So his decision to tackle inclusivity, LGBTQ plus themes through music, especially children's music, that could be incredibly influential.
You mean reaching parents and kids?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Think about it. The parents, many of them grew up listening to his music. Now he's directly shaping how their kids might think about these social values early on.
Wow, yeah. That multi-generational reach is something else. It makes his platform maybe even more powerful than, say, a newer artist doing the same thing.
It's unique, definitely.
The audience for Doggy Style is literally raising kids now. And when they see Snoop Dogg pushing Love is Love, maybe it, I don't know, gives them an easier way to bring up these topics at home.
It could act as a catalyst, yeah. But that unique visibility also means the reaction is going to be complex. And it absolutely was, looking at our sources. Very mixed.
Mixed is putting it mildly sometimes.
You essentially see two main camps forming in the commentary.
Okay.
On one side, you have the positive view. These are the supporters, people who genuinely applaud what looks like a shift.
They see it as progress.
They see it as a big, necessary step in the right direction, especially for a celebrity who, let's face it, had stumbled on this issue before. For them, using his massive brand for inclusivity, Well, that's a net positive, whatever the reason behind it.
Yeah.
They're ready to accept it as real progress.
But, I mean, is that view maybe a bit too forgiving? If the original comments were really bad, can one catchy kid song really be enough for, genuine redemption?
And that's precisely where the skeptical view comes in. They challenge the sincerity.
Right. They don't argue the message is bad.
No, the message itself is fine. It's the motivation they question. They suggest it's really just a very smart, very strategic PR campaign.
Designed to do what?
To repair his image, basically. Protect future endorsements. Maybe stay relevant in a market that's increasingly focused on social consciousness.
So, damage control dressed up as a cartoon.
That's the skeptical take, yeah. And analytically, that skepticism is useful. It makes us look deeper, Consider the mechanics of how celebrities manage their image after a controversy.
Okay.
Someone like Snoop Dogg or his team, they understand that just saying sorry often isn't enough anymore.
Actions speak louder than words.
Exactly. A concrete action, especially one promoting goodness and aimed at children.
Yeah.
That's much harder for the public to just dismiss. It's calculated, it's high impact, it's designed to create an emotional response that maybe overrides the older negative stuff.
So, okay, whether it's truly from the heart or it's brilliant strategy, maybe it doesn't matter. What does it actually achieve out there in the world? The sources seem to agree on a couple of key outcomes.
Yeah, regardless of the internal motivation, which, like you said, we can't ever really know for sure.
Right.
The song definitely does two major things in the public sphere. First, it undeniably sparks conversation. Important conversations about inclusivity, about accountability.
It forces the topic into the spotlight through an unexpected messenger.
Makes it unavoidable, really. When Snoop Dogg is suddenly the face of these values, people pay attention in a different way.
Okay, that's one. What's the second thing?
Second, it just underscores the massive, enduring impact of celebrity platforms. It proves that when someone of his stature speaks, or, sings, the world really does listen.
And we should probably mention, this isn't entirely new ground, right? The sources noted this pattern.
Oh, absolutely not, without precedent. We saw in the research other artists, other public figures, they've hit similar controversies. And then they've often used their platforms afterwards to advocate for positive change, sometimes in ways you wouldn't expect. It's almost a modern playbook.
The celebrity redemption arc.
Kind of, yeah. That arc often seems to require some big public act of advocacy, something that feels almost disproportionate to the original issue. Like, the good deed has to be really visible, really significant to offset the past negativity.
And for Snoop, known for a certain kind of image.
Exactly. For someone associated with a traditionally, tough, masculine hip-hop image, shifting to the softness, the vulnerability needed for children's music, that's precisely the kind of high-stakes, high-impact move we're talking about.
So putting it all together, this Love is Love release feels like a significant moment then.
I think it has to be seen that way, yes. It shows Snoop Dogg, or at least his brand, acknowledging the immense power and responsibility that comes with his fame.
Right.
And he's actively using that power now to push positive values onto the next generation. That recognition of platform responsibility. That might be the most important takeaway here.
And for you listening, there's practical value in understanding this whole dynamic too, right?
Absolutely. This whole situation, it's actually a fantastic teaching opportunity.
For parents, for educators.
Yeah. The song itself is easy to access, but the conversation around it, the controversy, the pivot, the skepticism about motives, that provides a really rich, maybe less confrontational way to start talking with kids about inclusivity, about accountability, about how public figures act.
So you could actually use the song as a conversation starter.
Definitely.
Instead of just putting it on repeat, maybe ask, why do you think someone famous like Snoop Dogg, who normally raps about other things, is singing about kindness now?
Exactly. That kind of question opens up discussions about, public statements, about personal change, about whether actions really do speak louder than words. It's quite layered.
It seems like it's doing double duty then.
It really functions as this dual-purpose vehicle. On one hand, yes, it almost certainly helps his public image. It probably opens doors to a wider, maybe more family-friendly market, which is good for business.
Secures the brand.
But at the same time, it also genuinely lets him champion some really important social issues. And he's reaching audiences, especially maybe parents, who might tune out if the same message came from a more traditional activist source.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, it feels like we're left where we started, in a way.
Right.
That tension is still there.
It is.
The real impact of love is love, and whether people will ultimately see it as genuine, I guess only time will tell on that front.
That really is the lingering thought drawn straight from the sources we looked at. You have this incredibly powerful platform. You have the history of controversy.
Mm-hmm.
And now everyone's kind of watching. Is this just a one-off gesture, clear the air and move on? Or does it mark the start of a real, lasting commitment to advocacy, to positive messaging?
What do you think when you consider the sincerity behind a move like this? That's the question to ponder.